Good afternoon. Today I'm here with my husband, Bill Janosic. He has been led to share his testimony, and I will be asking him a series of questions to allow you to be able to capture how he became a Conquerors Through Christ. To begin, I'll provide you with a little snippet of Bill's story. On January 14, 2014, Bill was involved in a very bad car accident, which basically changed his life. I'd like to first start off with asking Bill a couple questions. First question is, what was life prior to your accident?
Well, prior to my wreck, I was a professional financial crime investigator. So I spent a lot of time working on cases that usually were some type of fraud, whether it be fraudulently getting someone's credit card in their name, or whether it be something a little bit more advanced. But I ran the Midwest territory for a major financial institution, and I spent a lot of time on the ground in Chicago.
Okay, can you share with us a little bit about how family life was?
Absolutely. From the time they were born, my kids were my life. My boys, Matthew and Daniel, really were the reason that I felt like I was put on this planet, was to be a good dad to them. And no spirit no expense to do that. It was everything I did to make them happy. And I'll be honest with you, lots of people will tell you to this day, if you were to catch someone from back in that time frame, or ask them, it was like the Three Musketeers, me and them, no matter what, at all times.
Tell me a little bit about how fitness played a part of your life.
Well, probably about pretty close to 20 years ago now, I worked myself into good shape. And because I was fortunate enough to be able to do that, I felt like I needed to help others to do that as well. So what I did was I became a personal fitness trainer, and I worked with people that with any kind of client that came to me and wanted to be in better shape. So whether it be lose weight, whether it be specific to a sport or something like that, I worked with them. I did my homework to figure out what they were trying to get, and then I went on to be able to train them in such a way where it would be beneficial to their desired results.
Okay, so lastly, but more importantly, how about your faith back then?
I've always had faith in my faith. No matter what, my mom and my dad raised me to where I knew Jesus was real, and I knew God was very existent. Never had doubt in my mind. Unfortunately, I never followed it very closely, but I did never doubt. I always knew it was real.
All right, so thanks for that. Well, let's move on to telling me a little bit about the day of the accident.
Well, the day itself started early. I got my kids on the bus that morning, and then I returned back home and decided to get ready for that day, which I had a job interview scheduled for. So I got ready and left to go to my job interview. I was heading down a local highway that you guys may be familiar with, may not be. It was 288, and the speed limit there is 65. So somehow on the way that morning, I was in the area of Kuala Road, and for whatever reason, the truck that was driving in front of me was carrying a load of trash cans, Herbie-style trash cans. I'm sure you know the one. They're 3 foot tall, green, and you keep them outside your house. Take them out to the road once a week. Well, the guy in front of me was driving, and one of those flew out of the back of his truck. So I swerved to miss it, which I did successfully, which caused me to run off the road to do that, but I did. And then when I came back on the road, that's when all things changed. That's when life changed. I was T-boned by a trash truck that says on your testimony he never hit the brakes. So he was doing at least 65 miles per hour when he hit me. So, and by all terms of measurement, I probably shouldn't be here having this conversation right now, but I am.
So tell me a little bit about how the doctors stated what was the basic outcome for you after having that accident.
Well, immediately the trauma doctors that checked me out and tried to figure out what the problem was, they assessed me and they came back and said that I had received a extremely severe traumatic brain injury. And also by testing results, I received what's called a DAI, diffuse axonal injury. And unfortunately, the accident itself caused me to go into a coma. And I was in that coma consecutively for about 32 days. Now, the doctors told my family if they wanted to help, the best thing they could do is to help plan my funeral. Because as it was known back then, the accident was bad enough to where I probably wasn't going to survive that. Well, a couple of days went on, and I was still surviving. And then they came back and told my family, well, he might survive, but he could very easily be in a permanent vegetative state. We don't know if he's ever going to be more than that. And then, a couple of days later, things apparently held on well, and they came back and said, well, he might not be in a permanent vegetative state. He may wake up eventually, but he might need help doing everything from walking across the kitchen floor to taking a shower and using the bathroom. He probably can't do those things alone.
Okay, so how was, from what you recall from everybody telling you, what was it like for you with trying to get back to normalcy while you were in the hospital?
Well, I think the drastic part of that was the fact that I did eventually wake up. So I was able to avoid the permanent vegetative state that most people that have injuries suffer from. So it was a matter for me, I was never told what had happened, why I was in the hospital, or anything. Ironically, there was a point in time that I didn't know, so no one would tell me. So I got frustrated, and I just decided that one night I was going to get up out of my bed, go out to the parking lot, drive myself home. Although I didn't even remember where I lived. I was not healed to that point yet. But I had no idea I didn't have a car to even go to.
So it looks like you went through some challenges while you were in the hospital. Tell me a little bit about how it was like when you actually had returned home.
It was great to be able to be home, great to be able to get home. And I felt like after getting out of the hospital, the sky was the limit. I could do pretty much at the beginning stages of anything I wanted. I had a new lease on life, as they say. So what happened was I got home and I was not allowed to do everything that I felt like I wanted or needed to. But my dad would come up probably at least twice a week, maybe every day for a while. I can't remember, honestly. But then what we would do is that me and my twin sons would go to Rockwood Park, and they would play on the swing sets or the monkey bars or whatever, and I would just walk to start getting myself a little bit of activity back on track. I knew I needed that, and you were going to tell me I didn't, because, I mean, honestly, I used to be a personal trainer, so, and although I'm not supposed to remember a lot of those things, I did. So that was the beginning of realizing how wrong the doctors would be. So but at that point in time, I would just walk the track numerous times, maybe for hours on end, just to get used to it and get my legs the exercise they needed, because they've been in a bed for a month consecutive, and that's kind of hard to combat that.
So, from me now, just talking on behalf of myself, so Bill and I actually had met after his accident. So from me being on the outside, I could see, his challenges of, one was his walking and his speech. And I'd like to share just like a video. It was a video with his boys, and it actually can show a little bit about how his speech was in the past and how it is now. And I still remember the day, the first time me and Bill had been together for quite a little bit, and he had this video, and he showed it to me, and he actually sent it to me in a text. And I still remember the day when I first watched that video. It actually made me break down and cry. Just to hear the voice of the man that I had fell in love with in the past, and just to see what he had overcome was just something that just touched my heart. So I'd like to share with you now.
Hold on, I'll slow you down. Hold on. Slow you down. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, I just take it off.
Oh no!
Stop
Whoa!
it.
I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Just put your hand on it really slow.
I can't stop it.
Yes, you
It
can.
doesn't stop.
Huh?
It doesn't stop.
Yes, it does.
It looks like it is slowing down a little bit. Let's see if we can get it stopped. Oh no!
You got to stop.
What?
Stop.
Zoom in on the faces. I got the faces of fear. Ooh, scared.
So now I'd like to move on to, can you tell me a little bit about something that was starting up right now is actually a ministry, and you've called this Conquerors Through Christ. What is Conquerors Through Christ?
Well, Conquerors Through Christ is kind of a snapshot of what happened to me and how I was able to work my way through it and back. Because there were times, even when I was hurt and in a lot worse shape than I am now, that I didn't know what to do. I mean, I knew I needed to better myself. And I think I referenced that when I was talking about walking the track. I knew I needed that. Well, I can tell you right now what happened was, do you hear a lot of people talk about how Jesus is your best friend, no matter what, and you kind of think that might just be a slogan or a thought process, but not real, legit real. Well, before I met my wife, I was down to my boys and my dad pretty much. That were all that I had. And I didn't have my boys as much as I would like to. But in that meantime, I needed a friend. I needed someone that I could bounce things off of. And I got that. I put Jesus to the test, and he came through with flying colors because I didn't have any other friends but him, and he guided me along the way to better myself through the process. And I feel like that needs to be made aware to everyone, because no matter what you're going through, you have a best friend that's pulling for you. You may not realize it, you may not know it, you may not know it firsthand, but he's there. And all you have to do is slow down a little bit and listen to him. And that's all. Not complicated.
So, do you believe that the way life was prior to the accident and now that your faith has actually grown?
My faith has increased tenfold. And the reason for that is because I was put in a position to where I needed Jesus. I needed their friendship. And he rose to the occasion. You know, it sounds a little cliche to maybe say that, but there is no better friend that will be there for you and raise you up, lift you up, and be able to help you move forward than Jesus Christ. So I was able to conquer what I faced at that time, which was, truly zero. I was basically as gone as you can be, and still have a pulse. That was it. I got as low as you can go. And then I was raised back up, and I'm here where I am now. And that's because of my faith in Christ and my ability to listen to him. And he guided me every step of the way.
So do you believe that this is one of the reasons why you started this ministry?
Undoubtedly it is. It's because I want people to realize that Jesus is there, and we can all conquer anything if we just focus on Christ by doing so. One of the things that's big in this ministry that I wanted to call out is the fact that there are so many people and so many miracles that occur every day, and we don't give any credit to where credit is truly deserved, and that's through Christ. And I want to give a place for these people to be able to tell their stories and build others up by using this art, because I believe it's like dominoes. Once you knock one down, they all fall, you knock them all down, and then it makes something beautiful in the process.
So what do you envision the future of Conquerors Through Christ?
The future to me is to be able to expand all around the world. I want everyone to realize that they can conquer through Christ, through Jesus, because that's what he wants for us in every way. And I want people to be able to think about whenever something bad happens, well, man, that Bill guy, he conquered through Jesus. Maybe I should too. And then that's what they can do. They can quiet their lives down, minimize what goes on around them, and focus on that word, because we all can hear that word. It all speaks to us every day. We just unfortunately call, in some cases, our conscience, when that couldn't be further from the truth. It's the voice of God himself.
Amen. How have you promoted Conquerors?
Well, one thing we're doing right now is we're working on a lot of events where we go out to the events, set up a table, talk to people, kind of shake their hand, let them know what we're saying or what we're about. Maybe get stories from them, because that's the bread and butter of it all. It's stories. I want this to grow so big eventually that I can pass it down to my kids and they can keep it going too. But what else we do to promote Conquerors is the fact that we're about to go in a store and to sell our products, our shirts, our new hats. So that I would recommend you look into. See our Conquerors right there, and then our bracelets. And one thing I like about the bracelets is the bracelets will tell you. You put it on your wrist like a normal bracelet, and whatever you do in life, whatever you touch with your right hand or left hand, put it on that wrist. And then when you touch it, glance down and think about what you're doing, and think about it how it make him proud. That's what the bracelet is all about. So I would really hope to be able to promote that, promote the shirts, promote that, promote the general lifestyle, because people need to understand and remember that they're supported by Jesus Christ through it all.
Okay, so tell us, how can others reach you through like social media?
Well, we have a Facebook page. It's called Conquerors Through Christ. I think it's right now it's Faith and Fitness. I may change that though. But we can go through there. You can go through YouTube. I'm at TBI Guy 6500 on there. Go through Instagram. We have an Instagram page, Conquerors Through Christ. Twitter at Conks Through THRU Christ. So follow us there. You can reach us any way you want. We have a website. It's conquerors-christ.com. Please come out. Please be a part of it. And message me all you want. I'll get back to you eventually, I promise.
Well, thanks, Bill, for sharing your story with us today. We're hoping that each of y'all will actually come share the story with us. You can also reach us at conquerors@myyahoo.com. If you would like to reach out to us, please send us an email. We would love to be able to speak with you. And if you have any other questions, thank you guys, and we hope that you enjoyed the story.